All right, everybody on YouTube, stand by. We are getting things going on Twitch, and as per usual, it's taking a minute or two. Excuse me. I beg your pardon. Allergies are playing havoc with my throat and my nasal cavities and everything else. So I wish I had some better breathing vocal exercises here for tonight, but unfortunately that's about as good as it gets. Okay, it looks like we are on and working for YouTube. Let me just make certain that we're on for Twitch because I'd really like to make certain everybody is on the same page at this point in time. Why are you doing this? Okay, stand by for just a second. In case you haven't been here before and you're wondering, no, I'm not usually this inept, but unfortunately things do happen where we have to, I'm the camera person, the audio, the scheduler. I am everything for anything on this show. I don't have any help doing this. That is pretty much everything that I do all the way on through, checking video and audio and everything else. Want to make certain that everything is right where it needs to be. So it does take a bit. This is weather. It may not seem that way. This is a professional production. This is Weather Overtime. I am Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick. It is Thursday, the 25th of July, and we are now less than a week away from August. It's getting closer and closer, so we are almost there. And as we go into August, that is where we may see some potentially difficult situations shaping up where it comes to the tropics. We'll take a look at that in just a little bit. This is going to be a little bit foreshortened. It's about 10:16 Eastern time, so we usually go on for about a half an hour or more. In this case, we're probably going to be doing about like 15 minutes because we still have the 11 o'clock show coming up, so something that I've got to get taken care of there. If you've never tuned in here before, this is our video weather blog where you can ask questions about what's going on with the weather and what's happening with the forecast. We're from News 12 WDEF-TV in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. Welcome to the show. Let's go ahead and get going with the very best news of all. We did manage to pick up over 1.5 inches of rainfall today. That was a very good soaking that we got last night after midnight, and all the way through the day today, more rainfall kept piling on. So we did a very good job of picking up a decent amount of rain. Now, whether or not that was a record or not, I'll check on that before the 11 o'clock show, but that dropped our deficit for the month to under 1 inch, where we were riding at about, say, 3 inches below, and this is really good news. We're down to 4.2 behind for the entire year of 2024. That is excellent news because we were over 6 inches behind just a few days ago, so that really does help us out a little bit. 84 the highs, 7 below our normal, which is 91. We're going to be coming closer to that in a little while, next few days. 73 the low, very close to normal once again. So a beautiful day out there where it came to rainfall. Yes, there was some problems as we had some rain on the roadways. I sincerely hope that this was not part, that the weather was not part of this situation. If you haven't seen this before, if I can get my cursor to work, that would help. You're looking here at the T-Dot cameras. Sorry about the light that's blocking some of the route there. This is I-75 coming southbound. That is the southbound traffic right there, and traffic was down to just one lane. It appears that everything has cleared out at least a little bit. There was an accident involving a semi-trailer that was right around the Cleveland area, just northeast of Chattanooga, and things are still slow because that scrum and the debris cleanup on that's looking south toward that area. So we've got tons of traffic and things are continuing to be rather on the slow side. We don't show anything happening where it comes to any major problems. There's no accident out there, but right around that area, southbound traffic is very slow as all that clears out, going past the exit for Highway 74, right around Cleveland. So heading that direction is what you're looking at there. Heading farther upwards down that area, that's the south mountain lanes, and it looks like everything is slowed down there due to cleanup and debris removal and things like that. We'll bring you updates on that coming up on News 12 at 11, and I'm sure there'll be an update coming up into tomorrow morning. Taking a look downtown, a nicer view, calmer, not that much happening. Sylvester the Spider hanging out and doing his job worth his weight in gold, eating some mosquitoes for tonight, hopefully. From the Bailey's Heating and Air camera to the Plainview Outdoor Advertising camera looking off to the southwest from Highway 153 and the 64 overpass. Some good haze out there, some fog possible into tomorrow morning. The News 12 studios with Lookout Mountain just barely visible there, Ruby Falls, and looking off toward Raccoon Mountain in the distance. Downtown from the North Shore, right around the area of the Chattanooga Theater Center, Coolidge Park, the Tennessee River, and looking across the footbridge toward Riverside Drive and downtown. So a beautiful shot there. A few folks out and about on a very muggy evening. Chattanooga Zoo lit up with rainfall earlier. Not that much going on for right now. Looking back toward Erlanger Hospital as the train tracks move on by in those locations. And last but not least, let's see about traffic at 2475. The construction going on back over here toward Moore and Germantown Road on 24 West, blocking traffic, slowing it down at least from Highway 75 North coming out of Georgia and heading toward downtown. Looks to be a couple of warning lights out there. Not too sure what that's about over that direction. That could be a reflection, but so far things are moving along and very much on the humid side. Not seeing any rain at this time, just cloudy skies at the airport just over the horizon. So far so good and decently quiet. We do have, again, some scattered showers out across portions of the area. Very light in nature back toward North Carolina, northeast Georgia, into around northeastern Alabama and parts of southeast Tennessee. This is the News 12 viewing area right here with Chattanooga and Hamilton County right smack in the middle of the screen. So we do have some more raindrops possible into tonight. Maybe even a rumble of thunder. We'll be watching that with a lot of interest as we go throughout the evening. But so far, there's no indication of anything major taking place for tonight. No severe weather, but again, a rumble of thunder would not be out of the question. All right, so what do we got coming up? We've had this stationary front stuck across the area or just south of the area for quite some time. Slightly drier air here, more moisture-rich air here, but that clash point, showers and thunderstorms forming. That front, the boundary between the air masses has been weakening. So instead of being a real sharp dividing line like a cold front, it's starting to wash out in the atmosphere. There's not much difference between two sides of the front. So as a new front arrives coming in from the north, that will give us more of an edge that'll work its way down toward this leftover front, absorb it, and then do the exact same thing that this front did, just stay in place across the area and wobble back and forth. High pressure bringing smoky conditions out toward the western United States. Poor air quality in a good portion of the western third of the U.S., so that again could be a bit of an issue there. Now, two things I want to talk about tonight. Number one, the rainfall. As we go into the next few days, we will see the potential of more showers and thunderstorms coming our way. That, again, could be a problem. First of all, for outdoor activities, yes, but also seeing the potential of maybe some more problems as we get into the next few days. What are we talking about? Well, mainly the potential of flash flooding. Now, for Friday, tomorrow, just looking at a 1 out of 4, a marginal threat of anything involving flash flooding. We go into Saturday, that marginal threat remains across the area. This means that basically there is a threat of flash flooding. We've got saturated ground already as the rain has fallen over the last several days, and that has soaked the ground. So when anything falls on that, when it comes to rain, it's going to run off very quickly and collect in low-lying areas like ditches, streams, creeks, rivers, lakes, things like that. Well, if it builds up and if it washes debris down with it because of that runoff potential, we could see debris blocking some of those drainage areas, and if that happens, the water builds up again. So if you drive through or live in and around any low-lying areas that are prone to flooding, it's a good possibility that the water is going to be rising in those areas. And if you are in a location like that and you can't see the roadway with the water flowing over it or just blocking your path, don't drive across it. Just do not do it. Turn around, don't drown. It may sound like a silly poem, but hopefully everybody pays attention to that, because the threat is there. It may not be huge, but it is there. And again, driving into a water-covered roadway, you don't know what's in it. You don't know if the road is still there. And if there's a current going underneath that surface that is nice and calm, it only takes 6 to 12 inches of water to float a car away, and that includes SUVs, vans, big vehicles like that. It could be the last mistake you ever make. So again, remember, turn around, don't drown, find another way to get to where you're going. Now that is for Saturday. Sunday, we start to raise the risk a little bit, and that threat stays with us as we go into Monday, and that mainly east of Chattanooga. So that is what we're going to be dealing with, is the heavier rainfall, wet grounds, lots of runoff, and that takes us again into the potential of flash flooding over the next several days. So that is really something to watch. Now we're also watching at this time the temperatures, which again don't look to be incredibly hot. We are seeing the temperatures here again just a little bit above normal, and that's the way it'll be as we go into around August. Unfortunately, that trend really ramps up as we go into mid-August. The medium range forecast from the Climate Prediction Center showing that hotter estimate over parts of the Appalachians, very close to where we are, and then we step up from that not quite above normal to way above normal. So we could be seeing a hot start to August out there, and that is one thing we need to be watching. Let's take a quick look at the 7-day forecast on the Island Cove Marina and Resort camera, which you can access on our EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network page at wdef.com/weather. More chances of showers and thunderstorms over the next few days. Patchy, dense fog could be an issue into tomorrow morning. And then numbers are going to go into the high 80s to the lower 90s. Now, right about Tuesday into Wednesday, normal for this time of the year for this area of the country is about 91. So that is where we cross over from below normal back into above normal temperatures. And that trend looks like, it doesn't look to be triple digits, it doesn't look to be a major heat wave, but it sure as heck is not going to be on the cool side anytime soon. And if you know me, you know that I am a winter, not a summer, and I love the idea of getting the cooler weather in here, but we've still got August and September and early October to go, and all of those months we can easily get into the 90s. So no relief here. And same thing from the lightning. Outdoor activities, we've got 2 days athletic practice coming up, football, soccer, baseball, softball. We've got marching band practice. Anything in the way of a late summer vacation going on outside, you're going to have to keep an eye out for lightning, and you're going to see increasing heat injury risk. So that is something we really got to pay attention to as we go into the next few days. More on our 7-day forecast. If you look down toward the lower left-hand corner of your screen, I can't point the same place on two different cameras, but you can also see more about our 7-day forecast on our website at wdef.com. All right, let's take a quick check of the tropics, which as of right now, there's really not that much going on, which you would figure is a pretty good sign. We have Tropical Storm Bud sitting 500-600 miles southwest of Baja. That's the only thing we've got. We've got a couple of waves that are decently strong, but nothing that the National Hurricane Center is tracking in the area of the Eastern Pacific. Now, remember, we talked about this last night. We do not have anything going on at this time. Let me just make certain they haven't done an update yet on anything from the National Hurricane Center. Don't want to give you a false idea here. No, tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. Now, this is something, and again, I can't emphasize this enough, as we go into the next several days, especially looking at the eastern Pacific, the showers and thunderstorms and these systems developing here can have an impact an ocean away, to where the flow of the atmosphere, the amount of moisture, the amount of dry air, the instability can be affected from one ocean to the other. So over here, we've got a chain of little impulses taking place, which in and of itself is really, there's not that much going on, because we've got a ton of dust off the Sahara, and that is a normal flow. That is actually fertilizer for the rainforest and for a lot of the areas back into and around Central America and the Caribbean. This is completely and totally normal. But what this also does, if you haven't heard, again, does a good job of blocking out the sunshine and keeps the ocean from heating up. We have had several days worth, a couple of weeks worth of this dust, and that's kept everything quiet after Alberto, Chris, and Beryl formed. So we've got A, B, C. We've got those storms in the tank for now. But in the next few days, this is what we're expecting to happen, according to what we're seeing from some of the experts out there. The increase in activity here in the Pacific, again, is going to affect things over here. So, and you can access this at the Climate Prediction Center and the National Hurricane Center, all these forecasts available here. The main uptick is going to be here in the Pacific. Lesser so here, but it looks like as we go into the earlier portions of August, as they are saying colloquially, the switch is about to be flipped, and that is where we may see, again, an update and into the very active period of time. So that is why if you're vacationing, ocean, beach, coastal areas, Brownsville to Key West, the Crescent City, Miami to Maine, if you're going to Mexico, Central America, the Bahamas, the area of the Caribbean, please pay attention to what is happening, because if we start looking at multiple storms forming in a very short amount of time, things are going to go very quickly. And if you're heading on vacation someplace, you're going to have to be very knowledgeable and also very weather aware. That is going to be absolutely imperative to make certain that you are paying attention to what is going on. That is going to be absolutely imperative. So please keep an eye on what's happening. Again, nothing major right now, but in about 1 to 2 weeks, going to be watching this again with a lot of interest coming up in the semi-near future. All right, that's the main thing. Let's play around a little bit with some extracurricular activities. The view from my front yard this evening, whenever that was, absolutely beautiful. Moonrise with a few clouds and a little bit of some trees taken from Cleveland, Tennessee. Thank you very much, News 12 viewer Vicky Longy, I hope I'm saying that right, for our Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. Now you can see all of these pictures on our social media pages. You can also go to wdef.com/photos if you'd like to see them in person for yourself. So we post them out there for everybody to see close up instead of looking at them in a monitor. You can email them to us again at pictures at wdef.com. That's our main website there. So please give us a shout and let us know what you've been seeing, and yours could be the next Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. All right, let's take a look here at our weather poll of the day, courtesy of friendinroofing.com. The United States gets a certain amount of electrical activity each year, and a lot of people actually get struck by lightning. But how many is that on an average in the years that we usually see an amount of lightning strikes? What are we looking for? 150 per year, 270, 390, and 550. Which one is that? Well, several of you voted. The primary amount of people voted for 37%, voted for 270, and the majority got it correct. So congratulations to 37% of you for, again, checking in with that information. Thanks to Kay Blevins and Andrew Harrison for playing today. Andrew had a 4 or 5 day winning streak, so it broken tonight as he chose, I think, 390, but Kay got it right with 270. So thank you guys very much for playing, and thanks to everybody else for playing along on that. New poll goes up at midnight. You can vote on that after the weekend is over with. So thank you very much for playing along there. That should do it, I think, for tonight. We're going to have to cut things a little bit short. We're almost 20 minutes in, so love to talk more about weather, and we've got tons more that we could talk about, but unfortunately, we've got the 11 o'clock newscast coming up here in just about 25 minutes, so I've got to go ahead and get busy on things and make certain we've got everything ready to go for the newscast. But in the meantime, if you have questions, please let us know at wdef.com. You can email us there. You can also, again, watch this replay available on our website on the weather section, and you can catch up on our video sections as well, Twitch and YouTube. I'm also on Tumblr, Counter Social, Mastodon, Twitter, or X if you want to call it by the letter of the alphabet, Instagram. I'm also on LI Chess and chess.com. If you'd like to stop by and play a game there, would be glad to play you. I'm not a grandmaster, but I know my way around the chessboard, so it would be really nice to have a human opponent that won't scream at me. That's why I play computer chess most of the time, because of the fact that I just don't like getting the really stuck-up sticky beaks out there that act really weird when they play games of chess for some reason. Not entirely too sure what that's all about. Chip Chapman will have your forecast bright and early on Friday morning on the morning show starting at 5 a.m. Eastern, so please stay tuned for that. And I'll be back with your Friday edition of Weather Overtime tomorrow evening, so definitely want to stay tuned there. Please be safe out there. Again, patchy fog could be a problem tomorrow morning, as will the possibility of more rain and thunderstorms. No severe weather taking place at this time, but could be some wet roadways in the morning and maybe some possible visibility problems out there, so definitely want to take it easy. Let's all be careful out there, please. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onig. This has been Weather Overtime, the News 12 exclusive video weather blog from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. Thanks for joining us this evening, and again, we'll see you tomorrow, Friday evening, as we wrap up the week and head into the weekend.